Hi there, welcome to my next video on my YouTube channel, Natural Harmony with Lorelei. I hope you're having a great day. It's a great day where I am now, but the autumn is really uh, coming coming to town actually, or coming to nature rather as well. It's a bit colder, so it's time to wear a coat. But of course, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about today. The topic for today was something that's been on my mind lately, or not lately, and it's about I'm beginning to get a little bit enough of the almost situations in my life. Almost lost enough weight, or almost uh, like this, or almost finished that, and even in relationships, it's not all good, and some of them are almost really nice, but also not. And so it's the almost situations in life that I think I shouldn't be having anymore because almost is just not good enough anymore. No, I think that's something to strive for. That the almost situations are making place for either they leave, they go away from my life, or they actually are come through, and it's good. It's not almost, but it's enough, and it's good. So yeah, perhaps you can relate to some things I say, and I'm going to have a walk on this hiking path here and talk to you about this topic, and you might relate to it or not. Then perhaps you just enjoy the nature that I'm showing you. Anyhow, I'll be seeing you on the other side of the screen. Right, welcome on the other side of the screen. I'm going to show you a little bit of nature where I am now. It's a little bit the entrance of a forest, of a nature park, actually a nature resort. It's just the entrance of it, and I'm going to show a little bit of it. Perhaps you like it. I can't offer you sunshine today. That's uh, that's not in the sky at the moment, but still, you might enjoy it. And as I said, what I really want to talk with you about today on this video is that um, I've been thinking about a lot often about how we try to make things work sometimes, our relationship or our jobs or another dream or our businesses, or they almost look good, but almost good. And it's the almost that can cause so much, anxiety or restless feelings. And I just don't want it anymore. And I'm figuring out a way to actually get rid of a lot of almost situations in my life. I don't know if you can relate to that. If you say yes, I have that too. I have a relationship that's almost good but still long, not good enough. Or I don't know. Even at schools for my kids, the schools, they have to be good. They had to be good enough, not almost good for my kids. Now they have to be good enough. And there's many things like, man, it's an endless list of topics. It's about all things in life, I guess. It's because I think we give our time and our love and tenderness and parts of ourselves that you don't want to lose. So you shouldn't be settling for almost situations. And I think that's what's happening a lot um, in society. I don't know where you live, but where I live, it's like you just have to be grateful for what you have. But it's not a case of that. For me, it's not a case of, yes, I'm grateful for a lot of things in my life I have to be grateful for, and I am grateful for. However, that does not mean that there are also a lot of almost situations that are not making me very happy. On the contrary, they make me restless, and they make me feel, yeah, irritated sometimes, because it looks like something is stuck or stagnating, and that's not nice. And it's particularly not nice because things don't flow if they're just almost, I mean, for a long time I thought like it meant I had failed, or I'm just not putting enough effort into it, or things like that. But I'm beginning to see it differently now, because maybe when something refuses to fit or to come through as more than almost, as good, right, or perfect would be even better. But I'm not even going that far to say it has to be perfect, but it should be a lot further than the level of almost. So, and I believe if it doesn't really fit, or it doesn't really work out, it remains in the almost phase. It's like, it's not because you're doing the wrong thing, or being strong enough to push things through. It's just that it sneaks in, I guess, this almost situation, and be content and be grateful and be happy with your almost situations. But the inner, your gut feeling says, nah, something's missing. Something is still not right here. And I think it should be. Because I think this almost situation is kind of a trap, really. I mean, it's almost enough. It's almost right. It's almost love. It's almost a good friendship, or it's almost a good job, or the business is almost going. And it's becoming an issue sometimes. I notice I'm getting irritated by it, and it wasn't always like that. But now I'm just seeing things differently. I see it sharply, more sharp rather. And forgive me my grammar mistakes. You probably heard already, English is not my mother tongue, so I'm doing my best to make sense despite my grammar mistakes. I still hope you understand the gist of you get the gist of what I'm saying here. And again, for me, almost now is becoming to a point that it asks too much of me. It asks too much for me to be wholesome and whole and getting into it full heartedly. And even though it's not there yet, it's not really what it should be. And so, why should I give my 100,000% into something that's just almost? That's like, that's a waste of energy, isn't it? It can be a waste of energy, it can be a waste of love, a waste of a lot of effort. And I don't know, maybe it's because just turned 63, but I don't think so. It's a lot of things in life that happen to me that make you become a little bit sharper and a little bit, you know, I'm not a sheep so much. I don't think I ever been a sheep, but I mean, you become sharper, and people don't always like you for it because they say, "Why are you being so difficult?" But I don't think it's a case of being difficult. I think it's, for me, I see a lot of people just accept things and take things for granted. They say, "Oh, it's just normal, it's a part of it," and you just swallow it. But I don't see it that way because as long as I'm live, uh, I like things to have as nice and as good as possible, as aligned as possible, or as the name of my channel says, it's a natural harmony that should be right in all aspects. So I don't want almost natural harmony in my life. I don't almost want to be aligned. I want to be aligned, and I want the natural harmony in my life, and I will strive for that. I will keep a close eye on that. But as I just said, some people don't really like that, and that also makes that sometimes, I've noticed it already, I have experienced it already. If you don't settle for the almost anymore, and people can't deliver more than what they're doing now, even though it looks like a good thing, you just have to let it go because it's not a good thing. It's not a healthy thing. It can really turn toxic actually. And my God, I don't want toxic in my life anymore. Not in my life, not on the phone, not in my house, not in my work, not nowhere. Toxic is just a no go. But that means that I think toxic comes when you let a lot of almost situations slide, afraid for confrontation, or it's too much trouble, it's too much hustle, and oh, it's all right, leave it at that. But that can turn toxic really quick. And I've had my I've had enough share of toxic things and toxic people, rather, to say it like it is, toxic people around me, and I don't go for that anymore. And actually, it means that you have to let the good things go sometimes, even though it's the almost part is very sweet and nice. But if it never grows further than the almost situation, you have to sometimes let it go. And it's a hard thing to do. But if it just doesn't if it doesn't really start to flow into your life and grow into something better and something more wholesome, then as hard as it sounds, you have to let it go. I had a person I was very much in love with, but I had to let him go because I would never, in the end, never ever be happy because we got stuck for many years in the almost situation, and it's not going, and it's very hard. It's very hard, but you have to do it. You have to do it for self-preservation, and to value your life more for more than what it offers you at that moment. It's not easy to do, but I do think if almost stays almost, then you have to let it go or give it a boost, and maybe the other person or the other situation follows up and comes through, and then you have a good situation, and then you have more than almost. You have what it's supposed to be. So yeah, I do get perhaps that the older I get, the more I want to resonate over potential things, and also over what's not potential anymore, and let that go, because I'm not running out of time. Well, I hope not, anyhow, not as far as I know at the moment. But I am pretty sharp on my time these days. My time, my energy, and as I said more than once in this video, uh, almost doesn't do it for me anymore. So maybe it's a thing for you to think about. When things a little bit feel a little bit heavy or sticky, or the almost but not quite situation that you see now what's happening around you, or what's happening too in your life, in, as I said, work or relationship or whatever. I hope yeah, you maybe have the courage to think about letting it go, fall apart if you want to even dramatize it, but sometimes it is that. And but also then, not just let go and just let it fall apart, or let it go away, and because you've outgrown it and it's no longer serving you anymore in your life, because it has to become more, then you have to trust also a little bit on, well, some people say the universe, some people say you have to trust yourself, that ending something ending something really can be the first step to something new, something that belongs, and that doesn't stay in an almost phase. You have to trust that something better and something more healthy will come along. So I love to hear from you about that. Tell me if you have come across situations, or are you actually at this situation, something like that, at the moment, or it'll be great to share, and I guess we can all learn from each other and get new insights from each other's life experiences. So if you have ever decided to walk away, or you're about to decide to walk away from something that's almost, you know share it in the comments, and maybe you can read from other people again. Well, it's something that might help you to actually let things go, or to make it better, and at least not to avoid the confrontation, because that's another that's another thing we shouldn't be doing, I guess. It's also very hard, but avoiding confrontation is also not a very healthy situation, is it? So your story or my story, they might be a reminder for somebody else, or for you today, that check your almost situations and see if you can improve something on that, either by letting it go, or by going into confrontations and make it grow. Well, I'm getting too much my car now, because I have to do other things this afternoon, and I have to make time for that as well, for it not to become an almost situation. Nah, just kidding. I'll be ending this video now, and I hope you're taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself very well. Take care of your loved ones. And I hope to see you in the next video. And I hope in the meantime you have enjoyed a little bit of the nature that I have been showing you in this video. All right, see you next time. Bye.